Sky's Moscow correspondent is live in the Russian capital for us, Amanda Walker. Amanda, who then might be behind these attacks?
Well, the authorities have said that they will be looking towards the Caucasus region, and these kind of attacks were much more frequent in the Russian capital around 7 years ago. The Moscow theatre siege, for example, in 2002, and a significant number of the militants who carried out that attack were female. So the fact that these are two female suicide bombers isn't particularly new in Russia, and around that time they became referred to as the Black Widows, and they carried out several subsequent attacks. Now, we don't know that this is directly related to that yet, but that certainly is the avenue that the authorities will be going down. They have said prior to this attack that they had killed a number of high-profile militants from the Caucasus regions, so perhaps this is some kind of backlash from that action. But again, we haven't had anything officially confirmed. Just say, Anna, the pictures that we saw, the CCTV images of the immediate aftermath of the explosion here at Lubyanka station, it's a completely different picture now. We've had access into the station itself, and it's pretty much business as usual. The area the explosion happened, there are a few small holes on the roof of the tunnel itself, but apart from that, everything is normal, and the tracks are now reopened to members of the public. And there's a real feeling of stoicism here. We spoke to one man who was actually on the train on which the explosion happened, not in the carriage obviously, but on the actual train itself. And we said to him, you know, why are you here? And he said, well, I'm returning from work. So he was there again in the same station, having potentially faced a horrendous situation himself. And he said he just got out immediately and carried on with his day. Now, there isn't a sense that people are used to this kind of thing happening. There is a sense of shock, and people are obviously very upset about what's happened. And the government, of course, does not like this in the least, because it suggests that this situation that was once a big problem all over Russia is possibly creeping back in again.
Well, yes, and President Medvedev has said, hasn't he, will continue operations against terrorists without compromise and to the end. What exactly does he mean by that? What action are they currently taking?
Well, currently they've very much installed kind of autonomy, if you like, in terms of Kremlin leaders being sent to the Caucasus and being allowed to govern those areas in their own way, almost, in a way that just keeps it out of trouble and allows there to be quite a lot of violence within those areas. But when it starts to creep out, that's when the government starts talking in this way. Prime Minister Putin, his comments on this, that terrorists will be destroyed, very heavy language. So perhaps they're looking at having more authority and more rule within these regions, just not allowing people to seep out, and not allowing this problem to affect the heart of Russia and the heart of power, which is exactly what it's done today. Literally a stone's throw from Red Square here, from the Kremlin, and of course from the FSB building, which is Russia's security service, formerly known as the KGB. This happening so close is really not good for the government.